KCP, you see this?
If it ain't official Dana J, Prima Donna News, I don't even want to see it.
Though we don't know what tomorrow will bring us, let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Although we don't know what tomorrow will bring us, let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Dear world, I'm writing this letter in an attempt to make things just a little better. This is about living through life's stormy weather, because the truth is that we're not gonna live forever, and that's my point. Well, let me start with my boy that's doing 15 in a joint. Man, he could hoop, but he loved the street life. Could've went pro, instead he chose the street life. He turned rapper and wrote about the street life, but still could not make it out the street life. And one day he bought a Glock. Wait, now page number 2 will take you to another block. A man and his wife can't get along, all they do is fight. Both too stubborn to apologize, and sometimes it gets so bad they hope each other die. And one day she couldn't take it no more, so she decided to run out of the door. She jumped in the car and swerved off in a rage, and baby, I'm sorry was all over his face. Oh, we don't know what tomorrow will bring us. Let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Now that my homie done bought himself a gun, he stuck up some liquor stores, now he's on the run. Do anything to avoid the police. Now he's strung out on drugs and life is getting deep. To anyone, he would do anything. Give him the chance and he'd steal anything. Next thing he did really screwed up his life. But first, let's go back to the husband and wife. Now he's on the phone with his pastor, and she's on the phone with her mother. He tells his pastor, the woman is driving me crazy. Then swore up and down, she's not the same lady. She says, Mama, the man has been treating me so bad ever since we found out that I couldn't have babies. Then Mama says to her, girl, hold on. Pastor says to him, be strong. Oh, we don't know what tomorrow will bring. So let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Although we don't know what tomorrow will bring. Let's live today. Saying just in case. Now there's a warrant out for my boy's arrest, cause he done went and stabbed someone in the chest. Man, them drugs just got him breaking all of the rules now. His face is posted up and all over the news now. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, the husband and wife are starting to break down. She says to Mama, maybe I ought to call him. And Mama said, now that's the spirit. He says to Pastor, maybe I should call and say I love her. He say, I'm sure she loves to hear it. Then she gets a call on the other line. It's the doctor saying your test results came back fine. Congrats, girl, you're pregnant. Then she cries, finally a miracle sent from heaven. Now meanwhile, the other side of town, all hell done broke loose and it's going down. Cops chasing Reginald all over town. He's running every red light and driving real wild. Now meanwhile, and this ain't fiction, here is where I need y'all to pay close attention. She's so happy, she calls her husband up. He says, I'm sorry, baby, just as soon as he picks up. She says, I'm sorry too, and I got good news for you. Steve, I'm pregnant and on my way home to you. He jumps for joy, scream hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. While Reginald is still chased by police. She takes the highway, it'll get her there much faster. Reginald on the skyway, chase lasting forever. With the helicopters right over his head, with the searchlights on him, oh man. Now he starts panicking, Rachel's driving, so excited she's not realizing that just a block away, a man is on the run, while the husband's at home praying for a son. And the policeman is screaming for the call. Rachel calls her husband and says, I'm getting close. He says, honey, I'm fixing up something special in the kitchen. And at the same time, Reginald makes a stupid decision. He turns down a one-way street. Then Rachel notices this car coming and yells out, Steve, out of control, a senseless mission. Next thing you know, a head-on collision. No, we don't know what tomorrow will bring us. Let's live today. I'm saying just in case.
But I know that there's more. More for you, more for us.
Children, rain all night long. Didn't it all, didn't it all, oh my Lord, didn't it rain? Didn't it rain, children? Rain all night long. Didn't it all? Didn't it all? Oh, my Lord. Didn't it rain? You can't run from it. You can't deny it. You can't pass it off. It's your call. God knew what he was doing. He knew who he was calling. And he expertly and intricately detailed every aspect of your life, your being, your persona, your psyche, your physicality, everything about you, from the texture of your hair to the color of your eyes to the way that you laugh to the fingerprint on your thumb. Everything is connected to your calling. And until you walk into the fullness of the thing that you were created for, you will find yourself frustrated. You're called.
I can say that your policies are bad. I can say you're a criminal because you have been found guilty of 34 convictions. Like, I can say all these things because they are true. That's not even just free speech. These are just facts. So don't get mad that I speak the truth and I speak facts, but I literally have never said anything to invoke violence. And I challenge somebody to go and find a clip of a Democrat invoking violence.
Oh, yeah? Watch this.
You think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core.
And let me shut down the city. We are at war.
We're at a war right now.
We are at war.
So you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
And that's why the gloves are off.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
And yes, there are many threats to democracy. We see it with these extreme candidates.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
You can only push people so far. And then they start to take matters into their own hands.
What the American public want is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight.
You know, this is literally call to arms.
The MAGA movement is a threat.
Michelle would says that, you know, when they go low, we go high.
No. With all due respect, if they go low, we don't go high.
When they go low, we kick.
We take them to the mud and choke them out.
And make sure that they stay down. And you know what? Kick them when they're down because they deserve it.
Get up in the face of some Congress people.
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your...
We have to fight this in the streets.
We're going to fight it in the streets. It's time to step out of your comfort zone and step out into the streets.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist! You and your little friend off of Twitter. Y'all about to find out.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
We're not going to have a third term. We may not finish this term.
Yes, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. There will be news sometime, just so you know, there will be news.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Are they a threat to democracy? Yes. Are they going to take our rights away? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes. Are they going to endanger the planet by not dealing with climate change? Yes.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
She's a genuine danger to American security.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
We have to preserve our democracy or speak out against lies and hate.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is.
President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat that the former president represents to our democracy. Donald Trump is an existential threat to our democracy and our most fundamental freedoms.
Kamala needs to stop saying that President Trump is a threat to democracy. It's now being received by some unhinged people as a call to action. Enough is enough.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go. Shout out to everybody that's here. Dream Team United. What's going on? Y'all see the live. Y'all see what it is. It's been a lot of things being talked about. There's been a lot of stories being put out there. A lot of things being pumped. A lot of things being primed. Y'all know I had to bring it that way. So that way, you know, I'm trying to be mellow. I'm trying to be mellow. Shout out to everybody that's here. Y'all go ahead and tell y'all favorite blogger that y'all go ahead and text y'all favorite blogger the link and tell them that their favorite blog is live. All right. Shout out to everybody that's here. Let's get all the salutations out. If you want to donate to the channel, at the bottom of the page, it'll be either a box or a bag with a $sign in it. Go in and hit that joint. Nothing's too big, nothing too small. Whatever you donate, I appreciate it all. On top of that, I'm continuing my series on debunking the lies. Debunking the lies. And now I'm going to add another feature today called I'm now going to show you the man in the mirror. I'm going to show you the man in the mirror. If you want to donate to me, you can just go ahead and hit that Cash App, baby. You know how we rock. If you rocking with the Cash App, then go ahead and hit the Cash App. That's all. Excuse me. You know what I mean? That's how we do it. So some things. Shout out to everybody that's here. Sparkle, what's going on? Teresa, what's going on? Mama Mary in the building. Willie in the building. EJ is definitely in the building. Galatians in the building. Oh man. Little T, what's up, sis? In the building, dropping it off. Look, a lot of people ain't gonna come through because they don't like the drama. Because some folks now is just hot sedity. So I'm gonna say this. I have Marvin Jones. Don't you go nowhere, bro. Don't you go nowhere. I see you pop up on Facebook. Don't you go nowhere. I would love for you to stay around with us because I got some things to show that I know you ain't gonna like. So don't go nowhere. Stay around. I like dog walking. Y'all liars. And a lot of them are pastors. So, hey, this is my get back. Shout out to the hat. I'm wearing a black hat. And if you ever seen somebody this color, then you don't need to be here. Because if you're seeing somebody that's jet black, it's kind of crazy. Some people might get that close. They might get close, but they ain't black. But y'all still calling each other black, right? Like the step and fetching JAMAL BRYANT. Come on, black man. I know it makes y'all uncomfortable having uncomfortable conversations. But sometimes uncomfortable conversations is what's needed because the lies that are told on one should not be told on none. With that being said, Rumble, I love you. It's hard sometimes navigating Rumble because I got to wonder how to keep me going under. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to say this. For the R. Kelly crowd that's here, we are now at the end. We are now at the end. What up, Shank? What up, Shorty? I see. I ain't gonna wait. For the R. Kelly crowd, we are at the end. Bo Brinley has did the unthinkable. Robert has nobody defending him right now. And no matter how much we scram and scrum and try to do this and do that, Robert is now alone with nobody to defend him while the wolves and the sharks came to devour his funds and they took his money and ran with it. When I was talking before and I was telling y'all and I was saying it about certain people, don't you ever say nothing to me again. People was inboxing me, well, Dana, don't be that way. Don't be that way. Nah, it's that way. Especially with me. Because I plays no games when they come to my true friends. True people I care about, true fam. I don't play no games. And you see, a lot of people has abandoned Rob a long time ago. When the money dried up, they dried up and left. But Mr. Consistent stayed. No matter what, I'm still going to be here, even in Robert's dark time. So I'm going to say this. Be prepared for the celebrations from the other side. Because Bo Brinley have not put nothing in. And today is the last day. For the people who say they need context on it and they need proof, I'm going to read it. Minute entry before the Honorable Elaine E. Bucklow. The court sets the following briefing schedule on defendant United States motion to dismiss for failure to prosecute. Plaintiff response is due by 9/17/2025. What's the date of the day? 9/17/2025 at 8:15 p.m. He have approximately 4 hours to respond. Defendant's reply is due by 10/1/2025. Ruling before the Honorable Elaine E. Bucklow on 10/30/2025. The court will issue a ruling by mail. The status hearing set for 1/23/2026 and the status report are stricken pending the disposition of the motion to dismiss. This is a dark time. They did all that just to get rid of one man. And they used his family. They used his so-called friends. They use close friends and wannabe bodyguards. Nothing else can help Robert except for God at this point. For his post-judgment, if he wanted to appeal the post-judgment motion, they would look at him like he was a joke. Because they would think it will be a repeat history. What up, Shank Rock? Shank Rock in the building, in the Rock Stars. Y'all go over there, like, share, and subscribe. Shank Rock. He talking about a lot of good stuff, y'all. A lot of good stuff. Shout out to Lexington. Appreciate you, man. But my fight don't end. My fight really just picks up. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I believe that God is going to move in Robert's life to show the world that he is real. But that being said, I will never let Robert's legacy die. No matter what, I will keep his music jumping. I will keep the good things he did jumping and all. I don't know where this goes from this point. But I'll say this to the blogger that put that Robert Kelly was murdered in jail on camera. You need to stop. No matter how you feel, and I'm going live and saying this, no matter how you feel, life and death is in the power of the tongue, and a lie don't care who posts, tell, or show it. Robert will not be unalived in jail. And I say that with full-fledged and authority. With that being said, I'm going to say this. Robert, stand strong. The world, the whole world is not against you. You know what you have to do. At this point, it's not about none of us. It's about you. Lord, it's not my will, but let it be your will to open them gates for him when you see fit. And meantime, give me the strength to keep pushing, to go to the powers that be that can make a decision to open the gates for him. And when you do, and if he want to go back to Chicago, make it so he can't stand up in Chicago, that he have to leave for good from Chicago. Chicago don't deserve Robert Kelly. And it's not all Chicago, but it's majority of Chicago. They do not deserve Robert Suster Kelly. Plant him in a place where he will be loved, adored, and he can grow and not be slandered for the lies that came up against him, even when he couldn't tell his story properly. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Let's get to business. Robert will definitely be okay. And I'm going to spin the block with some R. Kelly stories starting on Monday. We're going to revisit the R. Kelly truth. Now, y'all see the title? So I'm going to say it like this. Many people out there have said Charlie Kirk was a racist. They said he was a racist because he took you down a path that'll make you think no matter what your creed is, no matter what your color is. Charlie Kirk, I've known for over a decade. And he was a loving guy. He just wanted people to do for themselves and not depend on the government. Because he said the government cripples people. But because he's attached to Donald Trump, people say that he's a racist. He's fascism. People even use the pulpit to come out and say certain things about him. So I've been showing people the man in the mirror, right? I've been showing people the man in the mirror, and people haven't been liking it. Why they haven't liked it, I don't know. You can't say one thing for one person and then say something different for another person. That's called hypocrisy. And if you're going to be a hypocrite, then let it be known that that's the way you roll. So nobody would take you serious when you being a hypocrite. Right? So even with the hypocrisies that's going on, people still seem to not understand what's really going on. And it's sad because I will post something, and when I post it, folks get mad. They get real mad. Like I care. Because at the end of the day, what's good for the goose, it's good for the gander, ain't it? And if you're going to be a goose Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, why on Friday I can't be a gander? So I'm going to show you some comments because now I'm about to put people on Front Street. And the weird part is people can't handle the truth. They can tell you about you, but they can't handle the truth. So let's start here. Rachel Pigstein said what hashtag Charlie Kirk actually said about George Floyd. Now, as we heard on yesterday, the stuff that Charlie Kirk, bye shorty, the stuff that Charlie Kirk was supposed to have said about George Floyd is not founded. Hey, Lady Libra 1972, that's what I'm talking about. All of my debaters in here. Good. So this lady said that Charlie Kirk said in an 80-something minute speech, Kirk called George Floyd a scumbag, railed against urban areas, especially Minneapolis, which is not the town it used to be, and seemingly referenced January the 6th while lamenting how if you dare walk into the U.S. Capitol building and take a selfie, they'll put you in solitary confinement. Attendees nearly filled the auditorium for the Minnesota leg of Kirk's National Exposing Critical Racism Tour, with Republicans, U.S. Representative Jim Hedorn and state Republican Jeremy Ehrman among them. In a Facebook post Wednesday, Munson thanked Kirk for an engaging discussion. Hedorn said he enjoyed attending. Well, somebody said it sucks someone was assassinated for exercising his rights to free speech, but don't make a hero out of him without knowing what he did with that right. Okay. So then they said all this stuff. I'm sorry if I see a black pilot, and I debunked all that. You know what I mean? Black women do not have the brain power, accessing power. And remember all this because you're about to hear it again. Black women do not have the brain power, the brain processing power to be taken seriously. You have to go steal a white person's slot. Okay, let's listen to all this. All of this. Kirk adopted a traditional Christian conservative stance in his approach to many contemporary issues, telling an audience at a Trump election rally in Georgia last fall that Democrats stand for everything God hates, which is facts, and adding, "This is a Christian state. I like to see it stay that way." Facts. He also lashed out at the gay community, denouncing what he called the LGBTQ agenda, expressing opposition to same-sex marriage and suggesting that the Bible verses Leviticus 20:13, which endorses the execution of homosexuals, serves as God's perfect law when it comes to sexual matters. Pause. If it's in the Bible, didn't they say you got to go by it? So if God is against it, then who are we to go against God? So this is what Joy said. Joy said, it honestly scares the crap out of me when I see doctors and nurses sharing that I'm glad Charlie Kirk passed away. Died content. How would they treat me, a conservative man, if I was in need of critical care and couldn't speak for myself? Imagine if I was unconscious and they happen read my X feed or see my Instagram posts that show my conservative values and activism. Would they just pull the plug and let me die? Ooh, that's deep right there. That's deep right there. So they've been, and when I say they, the folks been out here, the left been out here talking about Charlie Kirk this and making fun about Charlie and all this, right? So today I put up a post on Facebook. I put up a lot of posts today. And the post I'm talking about is the one you're going to see on the screen. I'm so good at being so bad. I'm so good at being so bad. So I put this post up, right? And this post, the heading say, how you died does not redeem how you lived. Right? And people got mad. I'm about to show you. Even friends got mad. And I posted pictures of George Floyd. This is before he got put down with the knee on his neck. And I also said I don't agree with Derek Chauvin putting his knee on that man's neck. So people want to debate and make the situation to say, oh, George Floyd was just the knee on the back. But what happened? I'm going to say it in my preacher voice. What happened before they put him down? He resisted arrest, starting in picture number 1. Picture number 2, he starts screaming uncontrollably. When that's all Derek Chauvin was doing was holding him at that point. At no point do I negate that Derek Chauvin should not put his knee on his neck. Galatian, I just spoke on Kel's motion. I just spoke on that. So at the bottom, he stopped screaming, but he was still resisting, right? So we're going to look at comments. 27 comments. So my cousin said, agree to disagree on that one, cuz that was murder. He could have let him up and put him in the squad car. But when he tried, he resisted. Noah Tyson, which is a dude I call my bro, but a musical genius. He said, what made you post this, Dana J? Well, now you about to find out. Keon said, I think how he died definitely overshadowed that. But I think we need to be clear that what happened. 2 wrongs don't make a right. Then he went on talking about it, right? Then he said, it's like, I'm going to skip the paragraph. And then, because that's feelings. Then he come back and he say, it's like championing someone who is definitely not a Christian as a martyr for Christ. Something about that doesn't make any sense. That's facts. Because they martyred, the left martyred George Floyd like he was an upstanding Christian, like he was perfect, he did nothing wrong. And if you said something wrong, but it's like you got attacked. So my cousin said, this is who you are, man. You scare me bad, Dana J, real bad. It's sad. I don't know who you are anymore. You can delete me. Unfortunately, I don't give a damn. You represent something that's not right. You're the devil, man. Seriously, I don't like this for you. I can't even say pick a side because you already did. Sad. And she gave me the little joint right here, and I laughed. So then my female best friend Raven says, so it's okay for a man to be murdered an officer who has an history of police brutality. They put his knee on his neck for 9 minutes and 46 seconds. But one of your own party murdered CK, which we know that's a lie. This is what I mean when I say the left lies a lot, right? Which we know that's a lie. And you not posting him. Like I said, when someone gets you fired, remember this post. You had the nerve to call me out about Tory Lanez and how I feel about felons. Truth is, I was raised by one, and he's never put his hands on a woman. George had a record, but his former boss loved him and told everyone that Chauvin had a problem with him because she employed him too. Like I said, that crowd won't even post a GoFundMe page for you when you do get backlash. Let's look at Byron Donald. Good guy. Cool. A MAGA zealot. Damn, that's how you feel? That was a felon that got a third chance, and now what's to close opportunities because he thinks they accept him. I miss the old school Republicans, people over party, because this isn't it. And then she said, you still ain't go downtown for Audrina Smith yet. Y'all see what she say? Oh, is that issue too black for you? I just laughed it off. So you see, like, the racism, right? Next shot, redeem his ass. Okay, cool. Clown R's Charlie Kirk doesn't know you would not give to. Okay, I don't know who this Brandon Bunch is, but I don't know who this is. I think I don't, but I'm about to fire his ass up when I get off here. It says defending the MF that don't even know. Okay, cool. Then you on Facebook, go downtown and talk that. Oh, do it all the time. Rude Rice said, classic example of not practicing what you preach. Everything you've been posting about Charlie Kirk and what wasn't right and having freedom of speech, etc. You've tossed away some of your points by posting this. Pause. I'm glad he said that. Anthony Baker said, nigga, you a real clown for this. I know you love attention, but you taking this as too far. Okay, cool. I'm about to answer all this. So Tiffany said, no, Dana. And then Mono Matter said, it's time that delete your ad. Okay, cool. So the reason why I posted that was to make them look at the man in the mirror. Right? And the man in the mirror simply is this. What you do to one, make sure you can handle it. Because when they come back to you, I don't want to hear, oh, that's not right. You shouldn't have did that. No. So when it was done to Charlie, everybody cheered. But I'm going to ask this question. Since the so-called black people was made to look in the mirror today, they got mad. Right? And y'all know I'm going to answer all of them when I get off here. But when the so-called black people does it to a person that really love God and preach nothing but the word of God, and because the so-called black preachers are Zionists, and they were cheered for doing it. But then when I took you back and showed you the truth, y'all didn't like it. So now that it's been said about Charlie, an upstanding guy, are you still mad? That now I made you look at the man in the mirror to show you that y'all are the real racist folks? See, I know what I'm doing. I'm a master at this shit. I know what I'm doing. Racism don't hide under skin color. Racism is in who you are. And a lot of the people that commented, including family members on my Facebook page, are so-called stone cold, low-key racists. So how is it that this step in FETCHEM can jump out there and say that about CK? But when I say it about George Floyd, y'all get mad at me. So now I just proved another agenda. It's not so much of Caucasian on colored people. It's not so much of who y'all think should be versus who y'all think shouldn't be. It's also who y'all don't like, that y'all don't want to talk about what y'all do. The whole problem is you can't take the fact that you are being shown the mirror. And the stuff that y'all do, including the next nigga I'm about to talk about. See, the words that y'all try to make cool, I know what they mean. So I'll take them and use them against you. And I'll say this. If anybody feel the need to delete me, baby, by all means, go ahead. And that goes for friends, family, internet friends, cousins. I don't give a fuck. You know why? Because I stand for God and God stands for what's right. So how you going to get mad at me for posting that and saying that about George Floyd, but y'all cheered this motherfucker for saying what he said about Charlie Kirk, and it just so happened to be the same goddamn thing? Here's the problem. Y'all don't want the truth. And y'all don't want people that can tell you the truth and laugh at you and then laugh with you. Y'all want them to shut up. See, the whole key is y'all don't want people to tell you the truth. Y'all don't want people to stand on YouTube and on platforms that's going to tell you the truth. Y'all want people that's going to tell the people your truth. No, I don't know your truth and I don't give a damn about your truth. I'm going to speak the truth, whether it hurt me or not. So here's my question, Noah. Here's my question to all the Facebook groupies over there. Here's my question to my cousins on Facebook. Here's my question to my female best friend. How do he get to say it about Charlie Kirk, but I can't say it about George Floyd? And now let's expose the real fact about it. Here's the real fact about it. When he's saying it, won't that be racist because it's another race? But when I'm saying it, how is that racist? How is that a coon? When I'm talking about a same race, the same color, right? So y'all willing to excuse black on black crime, but y'all ain't willing to excuse colored on Caucasian crime or Caucasian on colored crime. No matter how you slice it, crime is crime. George Floyd got a knee put on his neck. But after reading further, and I can post where I got it from, I can post my sites. They said the knee is not what solely caused him to die. They said it was the knee that held him down when he was squirming. But it was the fentanyl and the drugs that he ingested, along with he had heart problems. It all came together as one that stopped everything for his life. So my thing is, when will we tell the truth about things? And the only thing I just made every last one of y'all do was take off y'all masks and show me who y'all really was. That's all I did. And I did it in a way that made you uncomfortable. What do? When you really want to see who for you, you make them uncomfortable. And I'm good with it, baby. I'm good with making you expose yourself. Why? Because I've been there. I done it. And check this out. Nothing was given to me. I got it out the mud, baby. And when you get out the mud, you don't want certain people around you. I can't deal with Sambos and stepping FETCHEMs around me. Because if something really go down, which is about to happen, I need to know when I go to war, who's going to war with me. See, what you really don't know is that, and it's being exposed, that these pastors like this dude right here and JAMAL BRYANT, they all taking money from the AIPAC, which is Bibi Netanyahu and Israel. My question is, before Charlie Kirk passed, how Israel is posting negative stuff about Charlie Kirk being dead and before it even happened. But then I'm going to pause and say this. It's cool when y'all did it to Charlie, but when I did it to George, y'all get mad. It's cool when y'all do it, but when I do it, it's a problem, right? Guess what? You know what I got to say about it? Get over it. And if this your last time being on my page, then guess what? Goodbye, good day, so long, because I don't believe in long breakups. Leave and don't come back. That's how I feel. Leave and don't come back. But then the same pastor jump out there and say, no need to honor evil. But who's evil? The only people I've heard call Charlie evil was the left. But now let's go here. Let's go here to step and fetch him, man. This is about to make me feel so good to do this. This is about to make me so good. I never seen a nigga start a war, be in a war, jump in a war, and then play victim and then give you a false sense of hope. This the same nigga, because I have no more respect for him. This is the same nigga that went on Cam Newton's show and said, Cam, you got some beautiful ass legs, man. But Jamal Bryant jump on here today and say, dear Lord, I come to you as humbly as I can, with a bowed head and a humble heart. You said in your word, if I hold my peace, you would fight my battles. I'm trying to hold my peace. I'm trying to hold my peace. Lord, but you got people who, Lord, but you. So now he's saying the Lord got people who claim to be with you who are cursing in my DM. Wait a minute. Didn't you jump out there and accuse somebody as being racist and a fascist and spreading the hate? Then you said people are threatening your family. Hold on. Ain't this what you did by spreading false truth, which is a lie? Don't you think you got enough followers? And guess what? You got a lot of crazy them people in there that'll do something. So don't you think you emboldened them to go and do something to Charlie Kirk's family? Then you said calling the church. Oh. So now people calling the church and they trying to find who's above you so they can report you. Ain't that the same thing you did when you got all of them supervisors, colored supervisors at the Target warehouse fired because you jumped on a lie and didn't research the truth? Hold on. Didn't y'all say the rooster's coming home to roost? Then you said, bring peace to troubled minds. No, ain't nobody minds trouble. I'm going to give you the tea or the jug of juice because I don't do tea. Niggas want you to pay, and I'll put it out there. People want you and New Birth, since y'all the ones that came to the Target parking lot, people want you and New Birth to pay for them salaries that y'all got fired for no reason, and they were our own color. That's what's going on. Then you said, ask that you would bring justice to the families of the young men lynched in Mississippi. Change gun laws so that schools can be safe again and give protection to those who speak out against racism. authoritarianism, and fascism. Send support to the Sudan, the Congo, and to Gaza. Protect the people of Memphis, Chicago, and D.C. Provide provision for 300K brilliant black women who have lost their jobs unjustly. Pause. Isn't this hate? Isn't this a hate speech? Because now what he's doing, he's singling out only the colored folks and saying, fuck everybody else. But ain't he a pastor that have all different colors in his church? He got Caucasians, or should I say different races? He got Caucasians, he got coloreds, he got Italians, he got Japanese, he got Mamonese, he got all of them now. Then he said, be a fence for the HBCUs that are being targeted. Pause. That came out to be a hoax. So now you are encouraging the lie. Then you said, be a shield against the erroneous theology afoot that is shaming. People are embracing how you made them. Thank you giving me the grace to go high for those who are committed to being low. Now watch this. What is the point of him posting a picture of Nino Brown? Because in this part, Nino Brown said, I'm my brother's keeper. But at the same time, I blow his head off. So what message are you really sending, Jamal? That's the question. What message are you really sending? But don't worry about it. See, I'm just a colored man that's telling the truth. And a lot of women don't understand what's really going on. So I'm about to get a woman to explain exactly what's going on. Jamal, here's your kryptonite. Speak, Amy.
You know something? Liars have one job, and that job is to keep lying. Because if they ever stop lying, then the whole circus tent would collapse. And that is precisely why Jamal Bryant must lie to make you hate Charlie Kirk. Because if his church members, if they ever heard the truth for themselves, right, they might actually learn something from Charlie. Like if they had went and actually listened to Charlie Kirk debate, I can guarantee you that they would disavow Jamal Bryant and absolutely leave his church and never look back. You have come for my brother, someone you know absolutely nothing about, and now I am here to set the record straight and to expose you for the lying, shriveled up, California looking raisin hellion that you are. Oh, I've got even more time today. So let's get into this.
From here, you have a deviated septum. This is going to be life-changing breathing. Seriously. Right here.
Grace and peace, you guys. Welcome back to Unshakable with April Chapman, where we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. I'm your host, April Chapman, and welcome to today's show. I want to be in better spirits, and it's been incredibly difficult for me to make content these past few days. I took a few days off because I just needed to wrap my mind around and to make sure I was hearing what I was hearing. The question that I want to talk to you about is, or answer the question. The question that I want to answer for you today is why Jamal Bryant must lie. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time. We're just going to get straight into it. Yes, I have some very sharp words for Jamal Harrison Bryant, the open mouth Archbishop of Anarchy and Antichrist rhetoric that he spews over there at Stillbirth Cathedral. Now, why does Jamal Bryant have to lie about Charlie Kirk? Because he absolutely
is lying. And we're going to get into the clip. But before we do, let me just answer that point blank. Jamal Bryant has to lie about Charlie Kirk, because if people in his church actually went and listened to Charlie debate, they would realize very quickly that Charlie wasn't some racist white supremacist, but that he was a gospel-centric voice who stood boldly for the truth. And if they realized that, I'm sorry, Jamal's hustle would be completely over, and he can't have that. This man thrives on keeping his people perpetually grieved, keeping them perpetually ignorant, and perpetually dependent on him. I have never seen, in all of my years of being Black and a professing and a nominal cultural Christian before that, I have never seen the level of evil and ignorance coming out of the pulpits that we have seen over the past few days. This man, Jamal Bryant, is literally on the Democrat Party payroll, and his job is to keep folks in bondage to the lie that Democrats have their best interests at heart, and so therefore, Democrats need Jamal. They need him because Jamal is a mouthpiece for Marxist rhetoric dressed up in very, very ugly designer clothes, because nothing screams louder than a clown dressed up in Gucci, preaching heresy all stitched together with an ashy fake Black preacher voice. He knows, and Democrats know, that's what'll get the Black folks riled up. So let us put and push this caricature forward, and he will push our agenda. And it's working.
Maybe White.
But let me add this. Democrats are bleeding voters. Okay, people are jumping ship from that godless party left and right. And so Jamal's voice is the sound of desperation. All of that vitriol you hear coming out of his pulpit, that is the sound of desperation. They are oh so desperate. And they will search for any willing propagandist who will sell out their own mama or their own children and do something really strange for some change. The Democrat Party has effectively placed a digital battery in Jamal Bryant's back, and he ain't nothing but a leftist progressive whore and completely incapable of telling the truth. This is why he gets in his pulpit and lies. I'm sorry. He's a horrible person. And what I'm about to show you is going to prove just how sick, just how twisted, and just how horrible he really is. Take a look and roll this clip.
I'm concerned about all of these Negro preachers who've been, in fact, talking about that this man that was killed was the answer to Christ in the earth. Y'all ain't saying that. They having moments of silence in Black churches all over the country over a man that was racist and a white supremacist. How dare you compare him to Martin Luther King? The only thing that Charlie Crist and Martin Luther King got in common is both of them was killed by a white man. After that, they got nothing else in common.
So you heard the wickedness coming out of this man's mouth. And the sad part is that there are a bunch of Black ignorants who actually believe the foolishness that this man was spewing. Jamal, he has to shield his people from the true gospel of Jesus Christ. This is why he takes time out on Sunday to preach this mess. There's no gospel going forth at stillbirth. And we know this to be true because the minute you compare what Charlie Kirk proclaimed to what Jamal Bryant preaches, the contrast is glaring.
Jesus saved my life. I'm a Some of my kids are top of their class, and I fully attribute IXL to helping them reach that goal because of all.
That Jesus rose from the dead. And I say, how do you know that Jesus rose from the dead? Well, show me another historical piece of a story where so many people willingly died a brutal death for a lie. Every single person around him had everything to lose, and yet they went to the absolute death, from Paul to Peter to the half-brother of James, saying that Jesus is Lord, Jesus rose from the dead. Not to mention, if you were going to fake a story, you would not use female witnesses in the ancient world. In the scriptures, it said that the women were the first one to see Jesus Christ. If you're trying to fake a story, you would never do that. You would say that Jesus is here to save us. Save us from what?
Ourselves. We're dead people walking.
Okay, so you have to tell people about the death first, right?
You're very good at your job. You're very good at your job, sir.
Jesus is a rescue mission.
Yeah.
But you must teach people what you're rescuing them from. Yes.
I got it. I guess. Oh God, that's such a treat. And you're getting these threats. Does it alarm and concern you for your children?
I mean, yes and no. We take proper precautions. That's all I'll say. And we feel confident in that. But also, I mean, my wife is the best person ever, and she's a patriot, and she's a believer, and we don't want to have to be accountable to God when this life passes. And he asks, why did you not trust in me and not fight evil? Because we as Christians are called to fight evil. It's one of the lesser known scriptures, Psalm 97:10. For those of you that love God, you must hate evil.
Yep, amen.
And again, everyone is called to something different in the body of Christ. Some people are called to heal the sick. Some people are called to mend broken marriages. Some people are called to do outright hot gospel teaching. My call is to fight evil and to proclaim truth. That's it.
You could just close your eyes and listen to both of them speak, and the obvious answer to that question will jump out at you. Charlie pointed people to Christ, not to himself, not even to the government. He pointed people to Christ. He pointed people to reconciliation, to God, and then to one another. But more importantly, Charlie talked about living at peace with all men. He challenged young people to do something that's something I ain't never heard Jamal say, and that is marry before you carry, build strong families, work hard, quit begging, honor God with your life. Charlie Kirk had one wife, 0 baby mamas, a good name, respected across the globe, something Jamal Bryant would only dream of having. But meanwhile, Jamal spends his time platforming openly homosexual couples, not once, but more than once, going to their events, affirming and celebrating and apologizing on behalf of the Black church, affirming fornication by platforming another apostate who's trying to make people believe that fornication and sex outside of marriage is not sin. He then pushes a counterfeit gospel of liberation from systems instead of liberation from sin. The fake Christianity that Jamal Bryant preaches is a Christless Christianity. And just to keep it real, it is not Christian at all. It is pagan secular humanism with a pseudo Christian adjacent veneer. So Jamal has to constantly weaponize race and lies because it shields him from accountability. And we are on to you. Oh, I am so on to you, Jamal Bryant. This past Lord's Day, he called Charlie Kirk, as you heard in the clip, a racist and a white supremacist. Totally false. No substantiation of the claim whatsoever. But there is a clip circulating around in the blackosphere where people are claiming that Charlie was racist because of what he said allegedly about Black women. But let's be clear, Charlie didn't attack Black women. He called out 4 specific Black women.
Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks. We would have been called the... But now they're coming out.
Those 4?
They're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously.
Where did he say Black women in there? Where did he say Black women do not have the brain processing power? Well, those women are Black. Bull crap. He's talking about those 4. This is what y'all try to do. This stuff doesn't work on me.
You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
Those four. And that's why he's going to show who. Who is he showing right here?
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action.
He's repeating what they said. And he's showing you who he's talking about.
Particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color. But I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
Oh, shoot.
I hear because of action affirmative. She can't even say that. Joy Reid, we know.
Oh,
it's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own. I couldn't make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunities from someone more deserving. You know, this is how arrogant Joy Reid and Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee are. They're so narcissistic.
Who is he talking about again? Did he say this is how black women are? Or did he name off those four women right there? And if any of you try to take this out of context by saying, but those are black women, don't even try to pull that bull crap. He's specifically talking about four black women. This is easy. It should be easy to understand who he's talking about. But they represent all black women. No, they don't. None of these women represent all black women. Because last night, Ketanji Brown don't even know what a woman is, remember?
Ketanji Brown Jackson, Michelle Obama, Sheila Jackson Lee, and old bald-headed Joy Reid. And he called them out for being DEI disasters after they already self-attested on their own accord that they were DEI or benefited from affirmative action or DEI derivative thereof. He never said that black women lack the brain power to be taken seriously. He didn't say that. He wasn't talking about all black women. He was talking about those four brain dead idiots lack the brain power to be taken seriously. Why? Because the moment you say that it is because of DEI that I got to do this, that, and the third, is the moment that you insult your own self and you put up before your own self the idea that we should question the legitimacy of your intellect or your gift, skill, talent, or ability, because outside of being black, we don't know what else was it about your resume that made you stand out and made you qualified for the position or the role. And under today's DEI standards, it is proven that it is a lack of skill. And that all it takes is for you to be black and female, and that gets you enough to push you to the front of the line. So no, I don't take any of those four women serious, and I am a black woman. Why? Because I know how shameful and insulting it is for you to use DEI and then celebrate it as if it's good. The last thing I want to be considered is a DEI hire or someone who benefited from DEI because I have the gifts, the talent, and the ability to work and get what I want based on my merit. Don't hand me anything. What am I, your pet? What am I, a child? So no. He is not racist for saying what he said. It is a lie, and all it is doing is spreading and stirring up hate and division, and I'm pissed off because too many black folks didn't go to the actual clip to see, well, what did he say? It's no different than they did with Donald Trump, talking about there's good people on both sides. Take the totality of what the man said and see if it bears out to be true. Ketanji Brown Jackson can't even tell you what a woman is. And she's the laughing stock of the Supreme Court right now, even by her leftist peers, to be like, chick, do you even justice? Like, do you even know why we're here? The basis of so many of her arguments make zero sense, but she's a DEI hire. She's a DEI hire. But the reason why this tactic works so well is because of something that I need to just mention in passing. I think I'm going to do a whole show on this, but ethnic narcissism. You've heard me use the term, and I'm considering doing an entire show on this theory. But ethnic narcissism is the belief that your ethnic identity automatically just automatically just elevates your intelligence. That's the whole black girl magic stuff. And I'm a queen and I'm a king. It elevates your status or your moral standing just because you are black. And people like Jamal, they will inflate the most basic accomplishments and then twist legitimate criticism. They'll twist it and turn that into racism, leaving so many people, especially white folks, just confused, afraid to speak or push back, and therefore they just stay silent. But here, not this chick. No, I'm not the one. Not this black woman, not today. I am so not afraid to confront this wicked foolishness, and I refuse to shut up and be quiet about it. I refuse. And this is why I applaud Charlie Kirk and what he was able to accomplish, because Charlie refused to bow the knee to any of this foolishness. He didn't care. You can call me a racist, fine, but it doesn't make it any less true. Those 4 women lacked logic and reason and brain capacity to do a whole lot of things. And that may have been insulting. Say it was insulting, and you may not have liked hearing him say that and made you feel some sort of kind of way, but it wasn't racist. He literally just took their words, i.e., I'm a DEI, or I've benefited from DEI and affirmative action, and he exposed it for what it really is, just shameful. And so Bryant has to smear Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk exposed so much of who he is, or should I say the inadequacy of all that he is not. Which brings me to my next point. In his rant, there was a contrast made with MLK, and he was upset. Now, don't you dare mention, Charlie. Listen, I want to address this because there are some folks who are comparing Charlie Kirk to MLK. Nope, let's not do that. I will go on record right now. I don't want that comparison. And to me, it's actually an insult. Because MLK, first of all, was not the saint that people made him out to be. He was a deceitful, hoe-chasing pagan masquerading as a pastor. And this is why liberals love him. Liberals love him. Genuine Bible-believing Christians who know the truth about MLK, we don't celebrate him. MLK used agitation and coercion and extortion to achieve social change. Those are all anti-God ideas. Okay, Christians we don't coerce or extort to get people to change. We do what Charlie Kirk did, is we engage with ideas. We tear down arguments that raise itself against the knowledge of God. But we don't force or coerce or use extortion to say, if you don't give me what I want, we gonna do this, and we're going to sit at this counter, and we're not gonna get up till you give us what we want. And the black community, to be frank and honest about it, we are worse off 60 years post Martin Luther King's dream, and now we're living a daggone nightmare. So no, I don't agree with the charge of equating Charlie Kirk and MLK. Don't even use them in the same sentence. Charlie used truth of the actual gospel of Christ. He used logic and reason to impact millions. The only valid comparison to MLK is maybe the fact that both men will be remembered. That's it. Now, Charlie's going to be remembered truthfully, not sanitized by leftist lies. That's the difference and the distinction that I would make. The last point that I will make on this topic is that Jamal Bryant is not the only one out here lying, okay? I heard what Jasmine Crockett's pastor said. I heard what he said, Freddie Haynes. I heard what the apostate up in D.C., John Howard Wesley, said about Charlie Kirk. All of these men are evil liars. They are liars. These fake black ministers, I'm going to tell you what their problem was. They had a problem with Charlie Kirk, and they are angry because they are the type of men who intellectually and mentally, they still have a slave mentality. And because of their slave mentality, they see the white man, any white man, they see the white man as God. and they see him as a parental figure. So they'll claim that they don't, but let's examine their actions. Let's look at their rhetoric. Their actions and their rhetoric say otherwise. Anytime you hear a black man utter the words about white supremacy, and every time you hear them out here claiming about white supremacy and talking about how much of a threat it is and how much it causes them so much grief and pain, those men are incredibly weak and soft. All of them, Howard John Wesley, Jamal Bryant, Freddie Haynes, and even the local fake urban apologists, Damon Richardson and old chubby back Eric Mason, Isaiah Sassy Tongue Robinson, out here whining and crying about white people every 5 minutes. How weak are you going to continue to be? Aren't you tired yet? This is why I call all of these men jellyback soy boy Negroes, because they spend their entire ministry life, when they're supposed to be out here proclaiming the gospel, they spend their ministry time crying and whining about what white people are doing to them. The white man this and the white man that. How do you sleep at night this obsessed with white folks? Like, don't y'all have wives? Aren't y'all married? I will never understand what provokes a grown man to whine this much about other white people, particularly white men who are doing nothing to them. And I'm going to prove. Let me prove to you that these men are absolutely weak. And I pray, please clip this section and send it to them. I want you to send it to them. And this is why I call all of them the Van Jones, Roland Martin types, because these men are weak because anytime, it doesn't matter. They're so weak and so sensitive. And, it's just really insensitive to be saying what you're saying. I'm going to tell you how weak they are. They are so weak because anytime a white man says something that they don't like, it doesn't matter if it is objectively true, just as much as the sky is blue and dirt is brown. No matter what they say, if that man is not affirming them or patting them on the back or on the head like some little pet, talking to them like they mamas talk to them, they get extraordinarily offended.
I don't have time for bullshit, so I use a no bullshit pan. I am Chef Sam Talbot. I've been cooking for 37 years. What the hell is a titanium pan?
They are pearl clutching offended. Oh, they'll crash out. The crash out and the tears from these men are so real. Their poor little souls get crushed. And I came up with this analogy to help you understand why I'm saying this. Let me explain it to you like this. This is the black men who look at white men as some sort of godlike figure or paternal figure. It's kind of like you have like this little, like they're the little boy, right? Who, he's been taking art classes. And, his mama paid for him to take art classes because she saw that he had a gift. And she's like, okay, we're going to cultivate little Joey's gift. So Joey taking art classes and he's been making great progress, right? Just doing well. And then one day, because little Joey, he got this propensity to be lazy, right? Sometimes he just don't feel like trying that hard. Joey goes and he draws a stick figure on a piece of paper, right? And then, he draw it. Right. You see that? Look, you may not be able to see it. But then he show it to his mama, right? And instead of his mama coddling him and just ignoring the fact that this boy that she done spent all this money on these art classes just drew a stick figure, instead of her just saying, oh, Joey, oh my goodness, that's just so beautiful. What an amazing stick figure you just drew, sweetheart. Instead of her doing that, Joey's mama lovingly looks at him and Joey mama tell him the truth. And she says, now I know you can do better. I done paid for you to take these art classes. You've been drawing so well, right? Making progress. I've seen this boy do better. But in this instance, like for whatever reason, Joey chose not to do his best and he chose to draw some funky little stick figure on a page. And instead of mama coddling him, the mama goes, now Joey, I know you know how to do better than this. This is unacceptable, son. This is beneath you, son. Why would you draw this? A stick figure? Where was your effort? Right? Like, where was your attention to detail? I've seen you do better than this. That is what Charlie Kirk was to these men. He was the mama that instead of coddling them and affirming them in their foolishness, Charlie crushed their little inferior and inadequate souls with the truth. Okay? A white man who actually had the guts to say, all right now, it's time for you to go on and get up and go on out there and go and do it on your own. You can do it. You don't need a handout. You don't need DEI. You don't need affirmative action. We're all equal image bearers made in the image of God. Come on now, you can do it. I didn't even go to college, so you don't need DEI. This is America. You can do and go wherever you want. Come on, this is the standard. Now rise up and meet the standard, son. That is what made them angry. That's what makes them angry. Charlie unmasked their inferiority, and that's why they hated him. So they take to their pulpits and lash out like little petulant children, running to their mamas to tell them how daddy hurt him feelings, right? These churches are full of a bunch of silly women anyway. So you know that's who's listening to all this whining. And these women, because they ain't got good sense, they ain't got no man at home to be like, wait a minute, what he's doing? I mean, no, I don't think that's what Charlie's issue was. How did he get racism and white supremacy when Charlie Kirk brought Black the organization under the umbrella of TPUSA so he could keep the mission going forward? Charlie employs all of these Black people, has platformed all of these Black people. We sit as equals and respect one another. Why would he say this? So the women sit in these churches, they're just cheering them on. And I'm telling you, these Black preachers and all these other weak Black men out here, the idea of freedom causes these weak men grave anxiety. Like it's too much. They have no concept of how to function in their freedom. So that's why they act like a bunch of slaves. You know, walking around like they got whip marks on their back. And then when Massa ain't around, when they get in their little conclave of echo chamber, they act like a bunch of slaves. And then in the next breath, all of that bravado coming out of these pulpits is all fake. It's just all showmanship. It's fake. Charlie made them nervous because he gave them great anxiety about their inadequacy, and he showed them just how weak and whiny and wretched they truly are. How do we know? Look at all that Charlie Kirk accomplished in 10 years. Like, he came out of nowhere, out of obscurity at 18 years old, killing the game. He was freaking 31 years old at the time of his demise, and Charlie changed the world. He did something that only the Lord can uniquely gift and equip you to do in that amount of time. Charlie was standing on his own, without a college degree, without being born with a silver spoon in his mouth, making these men look weak and inadequate and sad. So are you shocked that they hated him the way that they did? I'm not. I'm actually kind of glad that they're crashing out like this, because it just affirms everything I already believe about them anyway. Okay? Charlie Kirk is everything that they are not. And they are absolutely nothing compared to him. They are just a bunch of loud, obnoxious, annoying little ants. You know, just coming, whenever you leave some crumbs out, if you don't clean the kitchen good, you come down, it's a bunch of little ants, that's them. Just coming after the crumbs. Charlie has one wife, a beautiful family, and Charlie had the ear of the president and the vice president. And here Jamal Bryant is out here. He can't even get a little funky corporate boycott off the ground, making his demands. And they just like, yeah, all right, Negro. You keep thinking that's what you gonna get. Nobody takes his clown looking behind seriously. Corey Turner's wife don't even take that fool serious. Okay, that's my opinion. Okay, but anybody out here listening to Jamal, It's very few. No one's really listening to him. They let him bloat and pontificate. But Jamal only likes white men who give him a lot of excuses to be inadequate. That's why he likes DEI. That's why he had a whole boycott campaign over DEI, because he likes white folks who give him excuses to revel in his inadequacy. That's it. That's it right there. That's why he went up to Target begging and demanding that these white folks give him something, while Charlie Kirk was out here talking about Negro, go out here and hunt, go get it for yourself. You bad. Show us how bad you are. You got it pimping. Since you talking all that big talk, and you can do this and do that, and you the king, and you the head, you not the tail, show us then. But we never see it. Because whining and crying and groveling and begging for crumbs is so much more profitable than going out here and getting it on your own. Jamal wishes he had the influence of Charlie Kirk. Ain't nobody about to have no flag half-staffed when the Lord calls him to his final reward. Or, well, I guess wages of sin is death. So it's what you're going to receive. But Charlie's influence, his wisdom, right? His mass appeal. Jamal wishes he could get in the room and garner the respect of a man like a Charlie Kirk, but it'll never happen. It'll never happen. He ain't nothing but a Baltimore hood rat, transplanted down here in Atlanta, trying to keep a struggling and dying church on life support, begging for money because giving is down. And the only way he knows how to do all of that is to be hateful, evil, and wicked, and to placate to a bunch of other evil and wicked, ignorant Negroes who know maybe 2 or 3 more 3-syllable words than he does. That's how I feel. And that's all there is to it. So, yes, we flew the American flag at half-staff. Absolutely. Yes. We mourn the loss of our brother, Charlie Kirk. Jamal, you are not my people. You are of your father, the devil. That's why the deeds of the devil is what we always catch you out here doing. But it's all right, because I rejoice in knowing that Charlie Kirk stood firm in his faith and he finished his race well. We can't say that about you, Jamal Bryant. Here's what I can say, though. Based on how you running reckless out here on this here terra firma, you will face an eternal judgment for every wicked word you have spoken and for every soul that you are deceiving, unless you repent and turn to Christ. So let's call this what it is. Jamal Bryant is not a good man. He's no community leader. He is not a faithful shepherd. He is a tool of the Democrat Party, a deceiver of people, and his lies will not stand. So it was important for me to do this video to expose the abject liar that Jamal Bryant is. And Jamal, you better hope that I don't ever run into you anytime soon. For your sake, I'm just saying, you better pray that my sanctification is where it needs to be that day, okay? Jamal is a liar and a fraud. And if you go to New Birth and you sit and you listen to that demon, you are twice the son of hell as he is. Clip it and share it. I don't care anymore. It needed to be said. But I'm curious to know what some of you think on this topic. I'm not looking for an echo chamber, but anyone can objectively listen to all that Charlie Kirk stood for and what he said, and you cannot walk away after objectively taking in his content and call him a racist or a white supremacist that was divisive, unless you consider, well, hey, truth divides. So there it is. It divides light from the darkness. So it's obvious if you believe that he was divisive, it's because you are of the darkness and you're not in the light. So until next time, stand firm. Stay.
Whoa. So I'm gonna say this. I copied I copied a video that I was looking for from one of my homeboys, right? One of my homeboys posted a video and I put Cook, Charlie Cook. And my homeboy was like, yo, I think this is what made Charlie turn and look at Israel to what it is now, because he got cooked. And I said, that's the whole point. But I said, that's the whole point, because my bro Maniac, good guy. Go like, share, subscribe on his page, Sean Price. Good guy. Charlie had to really think, because he dealt with a vet. Now check this out. They said Charlie only debate kids that he know that he can beat in the debate. Let's watch this.
You believe that the Jews run the American government.
That's not a secret, Charlie.
Well, no, I find it hilarious that
all of Trump's cabinet is Jewish. Have an AIPAC advisor. Not a single person in Congress can make a decision without asking their Israeli Jewish AIPAC advisor. Israel did 9/11, Charlie.
Oh, they did. Wow.
Why are we in the middle? I served. Why were we in the Middle East?
Well, I mean, you can,
why were we in the Middle East?
You can reject involvement in the Middle East without also believing Israel did 9/11. So if Israel did 9/11, help me understand this. Who were the hijackers of the planes?
They weren't hijackers.
Oh,
CIA and Israel worked together.
No. Explain to me what happened on the aircraft.
Okay, first off, what we have to understand, there's only one plane that actually crashed.
No, there were three.
No, the building's imploded.
Okay,
if a plane's going to hit a building, why would the building fall down?
Time out. Flight 93, did it exist?
Flight 93 existed, yes.
Okay, so who tried to hijack that plane?
They sacrificed those people to make it look like Bush was targeted because they wanted to cover up Bush's involvement. He just happened to be in Texas reading a book to elementary kids, and they're reading a sign on a whiteboard
let me say
that talks about towers falling, Charlie.
Anti-Semitism.
We've been lied to since the beginning of this country. Jews, Freemasons, all of it's a satanic agenda. Israel is the synagogue of Satan. They're killing innocent people in Palestine over the guise of sovereignty. New World Order is coming, Charlie.
Guys, anti-Semitism is literally a brain cancer, as you could see.
How is this anti-Semitic, Charlie?
Okay. Explain to me Flight 93. Who was it?
The government put them there.
No, who was it?
They crashed a plane intentionally to make it look like George W. Bush was targeted.
Who was the hijacker? No, this is important. They can never answer this question. Who was the hijacker?
They didn't have real hijackers, Charlie. They were plants.
Okay. So they got the black box. Of course, it was all just like a conspiracy.
Just like they found the passport miraculously 2 miles down from the crash site in
I'm sorry,
New York.
What?
They just happened to find one of the hijackers' passports laying on the ground 2 miles away from the crash site in New York. It just happened to be there. They just walked up and found it. They just randomly happened to find a perfectly good passport.
Look
it up. Look, World War II was fought not over what everyone thought it was fought of. Every war is fought by. It is funded by the rich, the Rockefellers, all the rich, the Rothschilds.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
They funded all those wars.
Was Hitler bad?
I think Hitler was bad. Yes, Hitler was bad. Yes. But did the Holocaust happen? The Holocaust did happen.
How many people died?
Not 6 million.
How many?
It was not 6 million. I don't have an exact number, Charlie.
Yes.
I don't have an exact number. It wasn't.
Okay, but
6
you said
million.
it's not 6 million. You must have an alternative. How do you know it's not 6 million?
Because there wasn't even 6 million Jews in Germany.
Okay, well, I mean, you tell me. You're the expert.
The reason why Jews have been run out of 109 countries throughout history is because every time they get into a country, they try and take it over. In Nazi Germany, again, they are having transgender surgeries, underground transgender surgeries. They're promoting homosexuality in school.
I like this. You know what? Hold on. Now watch this. Some folks gonna say, "Well, Dana, your boy was getting cooked." He was, and I believe that debate is what made him say, "Let me go and look deeper." And then, now that makes sense. Maniac, thank you a lot. Now that makes sense. Since Charlie started going back to look at what's really going on, and he turned down that AIPA for that AIPAC money from Netanyahu, and I stand corrected, it was $150 million. Not 30 million. It was 150 million. And Charlie said, nah, thank you. No, thank you. I'm going to leave you with a cliffhanger. And the cliffhanger that I'm going to leave you with. What's that? I'm going to leave you with a cliffhanger. And the cliffhanger that I'm going to leave you with is this right here. I can't get it. It's lint. Oh. And the cliffhanger that I'm going to leave you with is this right here. The gunman didn't act alone. And I find it funny when the question was asked, Charlie, how many transgender shooters are they? When he went to answer, he got hit. The question that I also have is I want to challenge the people. 200 yards out with the rifle that was shown is impossible. My question is, who was the guy in the back? Why did they take the camera down when it was supposed to have been a crime scene and nobody's saying nothing? The truth is coming out about what happened to Charlie. And the truth is being splattered. I'm going to say it on my live. Donald Trump cannot afford to play around with this. His legacy depends on this. Either he going to side with Israel and lose everybody, or he going to do what's right and destroy the synagogue of Satan, including Bibi Netanyahu. MAGA watching. MAGA watching. But now it's decision time. And what I believe and what I see and what I know, that EBS is coming with 10 days of darkness. Are you ready? On that note, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Be someone important. Be yourself. Until next time, I want to thank everybody for donating. I want to thank everybody for coming over. I want to thank everybody for participating in this comfortable, uncomfortable situation. I love every last body, every last one of y'all, every last body that came. We're going to continue the comfortable, uncomfortable conversations. And now, starting next week, I'm going to make it interactive where you can call in and speak your mind. But I'll scream this. Rest in peace, Charlie. Charlie merch coming soon. Jamal Bryant, I can't believe that you would actually do something like this. But then again, yes, I can. Because you're an opportunist. To all them other people talking about Charlie was racist, this and this and this. Y'all mad because y'all all wanted to be Charlie Kirk. Jamal was knowing that Kamala Harris was going to get in office so that way he can have the position that Charlie had to Trump. Charlie's gone now. Trump, you know what you have to do. I'm going to be honest with you. Tucker Carlson, when the heat came down, you knew what you had to do. But now you got to explain some more. We all know what's going on. We all know. The blackmail's going to get thrown out there. But Republican Party, let's not hide the allies that we have that's in the Epstein files. Let's stop making excuses. Let's put it out there and expose it forefront. And whatever deals we have on the table with Israel, so be it. Time out. We have to keep our republic and stop being blackmailed by people like Bibi Netanyahu. We know why Trump's name is in the Epstein files. We know Bibi influenced them to put that in there. We all know that. When everybody that was around Jeffrey Epstein said Trump had nothing to do with it. And he caught a hijacking flight to New York. But they said, oh, yeah, he was on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. Yeah, he caught a hijacking flight to New York. But the reason why the Epstein files are not coming out is not because of Trump. It's because of the allies that have funding in the PACs of the left. And for the people that don't know, today, Antifa is now known as a terrorist organization. Finally, we will get some retribution for January 6th. Liz Cheney, Nancy Pelosi, y'all arrested the political prisoners. Now the world will see who the real agitators were, because it wasn't MAGA. I will be showing them videos soon. I will be going in the black box to get them videos to show the world how MAGA was framed. One thing about us, we stand on our shit. If we did it, we did it. But if we didn't do it, we ain't taking accountability for it. On that note, holler at me. Get some Dana J seasoning. Gone.
Dana J hood season, man. I'm talking about that white dirt for all your vegetables and potatoes and anything from the garden, salads and everything. They got that Cajun. Oh my goodness, they got that ooh child. Don't forget that seafood. Last but not least, he got this thing called tropical. Go to Dana J Spices at yahoo.com.
Man, they won't overbook me. I was down bad, I shook it. Ain't nobody gave shit to me, I took it. Might as well pop shit since they looked it. Why this? Do you know how long it took it? Why this? When I take too long to book it, how shit can smell what I cook? Cause time, I'm a friend, I told you. I was give me turn around, turned up on both the niggas. I thought I was local, D. Now they street no dope with niggas. That's what I told the niggas. I'ma need that deposit up front. Nigga, that's $2,500. Yesterday ain't the same price today. Nigga can't afford me no way. Can I get a S? Nigga, stop, see it, stress. But I'm out here studying no business. Bitch, look busy and I'm blessed. Niggas broke talking about who the best. Go sticking notes all over my desk. I was saved by the bell like I missed the bell. They hate to tell the nigga you failed. Poppin', plus this ice on me. All my pockets swell. I'm up and thank you very much. I'm going out like Elvis.
Once again, I want to thank all the subscribers. I want to thank all the donators. I want to thank all the donors. I thank y'all, because without y'all, there wouldn't be no me. So with that being said, love every last one of y'all. I'm up out of here. Peace.
Oh, yeah. Let me say it again. Out of all I've been through, I'm still here. Said I've been lied on, mistreated, talked about and abused, but I'm still here. Many days I thought I was gonna lose my mind, but I'm still
by the grace. I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again. Lost a lot of people and lost a lot of things, but I'm still here. Somebody can testify and tell somebody. Many people turned their back on me and walked away, but I'm still here. Oh, Jesus, Jesus. Can I be honest today? Life ain't really been easy, but God's been good, and that's why I'm still here. Oh, it's by the grace. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. I'm still it's by the grace. Can I get milk with it? I'm still here. Oh, Jesus. It's by the grace. Said I know that I'm still. Said I know that I'm still. Woo! Every now and then, when I look back over my life,